Hey, how y'all doing? So we started talking about landforms yesterday, okay? And we're going to keep that conversation going by talking some more about landforms today, all right? We already touched on some of the ones we're going to talk about today. We're going to learn a little bit more. So, for example, we already talked about mountains, all right? But go ahead and copy the definition of mountain into your chart. A mountain is a very tall, high, natural place on Earth. Now, why do I say natural? Well, a skyscraper, a really big building, is also tall, but it is not a mountain, okay? Mountains are natural, okay? Look at the picture. It's natural. It's not made by man. Famous mountains of the world. Okay, let's look at the USA. We have the Rocky Mountains and we have the Appalachian Mountains. We already talked about the Appalachian Mountains a little bit. Famous mountains of the world. Now let's go over to the east, to this continent here. And if we go down to India, we will find the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayan mountains are the tallest mountains on Earth, okay? You can see they rise even above the clouds. Now, in contrast to mountains, we have hills. They look a little boring after we were looking at the Himalayan mountains. So a hill is a raised area or mound of land. You can probably guess that a hill doesn't create near as much of a barrier as a mountain, right? A hill is much easier to cross than a mountain, so it wouldn't create as much of a barrier for humans. Valleys. A valley is a low area between hills or mountains, okay? So I have a valley between mountains over here. I have a valley between hills over here. Many valleys have a river, just like both of these. Not all, but many. Plains. Plains are very flat land. I'm kind of getting bored just looking at them. Okay, plains. These are plains in Africa. We also have the Great Plains here in the United States. Okay, notice the buffalo. That was one of the main resources that the Native Americans living on the plains used. All right. In fact, they lived in teepees so that they could travel around and follow the buffalo. Plateaus. A plateau is a mountain with a flat top, all right? Looks a lot like a mountain, but almost like it's cut right across the top, all right? Plateaus of the Southwest, all right? This is a picture of the plateaus in the southwestern United States. The southwestern United States is where you're going to find most plateaus in our country. Canyons, okay? A canyon is a deep valley with very steep sides, okay? It's like a valley, but I want you to notice the difference, all right? Canyon over here, valley over here. Well, if we want to look at examples of canyons, let's look at this picture. It is the Grand Canyon, okay, over in this region of the United States. So to review, let's look. We have some mountains, very tall, natural places on Earth. We have plateau. It's almost like a natural, well, it's like a mountain with a flat top. This low area between two mountains, I don't know if I'd call that a plateau. What else could we call a low area between two mountains? Good. Now let's go over here. We also have the plain, the very flat land, okay? And this shows us where they usually are in relation to the sea, all right? Higher land farther away and lower land closer to the sea. So how do mountains impact humans? We talked about this yesterday, but I want you to try and answer that question again. Just check your understanding. Mountains create a barrier. Just like the colonies did not expand west for a very long time because of these mountains, mountains create barriers in other cultures as well, okay? So that's, again, one example of how landforms can impact humans, which is really one of the key concepts we're trying to understand here. All right, until next time, where we talk about how some of these landforms are formed, you will go ahead and finish parts 2 and 3 on your worksheet.